Hey guys, Thunderset here with a new trolling deck that revolves around sneaky OTKs. You may have seen a video I made like this, centers around Ipanchi and Spike Shield. This one's a little different. It makes use of a card I've always tried to use. It's so hard, Gamu Shahara. I don't think I even got a replay of using it, but it's a pretty cool card. It'll flip a defense position monster into attack when it's getting attacked, and if it destroys the monster while in attack mode after this effect, they take the damage equal to that monster's attack. So it's pretty cool. You know what Spike Shield with Chain does? Put it on a monster, their attack becomes their defense, and they gain 500 attack at the same time, and it's added to their defense. It doesn't become it, I'm sorry. And so those are the trap cards. As for the spell cards, we're using all the equip cards. We're using 7 in a balanced deck. As you can see, it's balanced. So 7 equip cards. Mage Power is pretty much the strongest equip card in the game. It doesn't work very well with the deceptive part of the game. It's hard to bait people into attacks when you're gaining defense at the same time, because then it's like your defense is too high for them to swing over anyway. And same problem with Power of the Guardians. It's just too good. You can't, no one's gonna swing into it, so it's hard to bait in attacks for your traps to actually work. Axe of Despair is perfect because you only gain attack, so you can still bait in the attacks. That's what all these monsters do. So we have Dark Orc. After he attacks, change him to defense. Can't change it back your next turn. 2200, 0 defense. Goblin Attack Force. If he attacks, change to defense. You can't change it until your next turn. 2300, 0 defense. So another 2300, 0 defense. If he attacks, switch him to defense. Can't switch until the end of the next turn. You see the theme here? And then this guy does the same thing. If he attacks, switch to defense. Can't turn, but he has 1500 defense. Like, where did that come from? 2200. This guy's an ultra rare. We only got one. 2200, 0. And this is 2200, 1500. Like, what? So crazy. So he makes it a little harder to bait out the OTK trap attacks too, because his defense will just get so high. So you want these 0 defense boys. You make it look like the ultimate Unga Bunga deck. You're just summoning, slapping on equips, and swinging heavy. And then you switch to defense. They think like, oh, okay, he's got a little defense. He thought it would last. And you hit him with this trap. It's really hard. You gotta come off really dumb. You gotta be really sneaky. They gotta really underestimate you, so it doesn't always work out perfectly, but this deck always, or not always, but it can find its way to a win, so it's still worth it, still pretty interesting. It's my trolling deck. We got trolls. They're called goblins, but they're pretty much trolls too at the same time. So this is how we do it, guys. And the replays aren't big OTK replays, they just show you how these things float around in the meta, but I hope you guys enjoyed them nonetheless, and thanks for watching. So it's hard to get quality replays with this deck. It's usually people are overpowered and they scoop immediately, or you're just losing. That's how it goes with these meme decks. But when you do get people, it's really cool, it's really fun. It's pretty satisfying stuff, so we'll see right now. We're going second. That's what you really want with this deck. This deck is so bad first. Sometimes you'll just pass, pretty much. So, you saw balance. It's obviously super consistent. Now, like I was saying with Power of the Guardians, a lot of the time I don't like to use it. See here, I didn't even equip it because I want to seem noobish. I want to seem really dumb. I don't want to actually fend off attacks. I don't want to actually survive. I want to seem stupid, like, oh, I hit him for 3300 and now I'm sacking, so I can hit him with the spike, you know what I mean? So only has 700 left. Turns out he is Dark Worlds. It gives me the opportunity to throw away my Power of the Guardians, which is actually making use of it. We got another Spike Shield. We got another fighter. He's like full Dark World, using the field spell at this point. So I'm really scared of getting wiped, just getting rainbowed and just getting crushed off the field, because we have nothing to protect us against destruction, like effect destruction. So he summoned a Lucent, but he tributed the Lucent off for a Arch Lightning, Got him up to 3100 with beatdown, so the math is barely there. We hit it for exactly lethal. How frustrating would that be to do? So if we had Power of the Guardians, he wouldn't have attacked. If we went full, he wouldn't have attacked. It would have been a much different duel. It would have gone way slower. Would have been way more cat and mouse. Lots of slow swinging. It would have been terrible. That's why you gotta seem weak. You gotta seem like you're an Unga Bunga deck and you're just swinging. And let people believe that. So that's why I make decks like these and play decks like these. They're kind of meme-ish. They're obviously not super competitive. So it's like, what are you gonna do, you know? It's just to have fun. I like it because of how you interact with the players. You're just in their head, the way it works. So you're psyching them out, you're playing dumb, you're acting like you're bad, you're doing all this stuff. It's pretty fun. So with balance, your hands are always going to be sick. We're only running 7 monsters and 7 spells, I think, instead of 8 monsters. So he has a Decider and 3 back row. Like, what? So this is perfect, though. We get our Lele. We get to look nice and weak. He actually thought about each one of these for a really long time. He had an option on each one of them. He spent like 20, 30 seconds on each move. It looks really fast here, but it actually took a very long time. So we get him up all the way to 4,800 with the Spike Shield set. That's all mage power. 4,800, swing into a Decider really, really, really hard. He only has 800 life left. Now we get sent back to a pathetic 1,500. He has no answer for us. We can't switch even if we wanted to. He had another turn to go. He couldn't switch back. Sets again, our turn again. Tries to wall of D, had 5 draw phases and just couldn't get over it. We just win. We didn't even have to bait another attack. He had no means to fight us. Hit him for over 4, or I guess exactly 4,000 damage. So it's just big monsters, guys. It's literally the ultimate Unga Bunga deck. Some people can't get through it. If he maybe, or no, he was just waiting for me to summon more monsters for Wall of D. So I mean, you just play simple, play dumb, and they'll just fall for it every time, guys. It's nice and easy. So I think that exact lethal replay was about the sneakiest you're gonna see from me with this deck. Because this deck, especially if I was trying to win more duels, I would just run more Power of the Guardians. But then it's not as sneaky. Then it's not a stealthy deck. You're doing different stuff. So here we're going second. You always want to go second. This guy has 21 cards in his deck. We don't even have an extra deck. Power of the Guardians again. He's throwing a Neos at us. He's also Heroes. Summons a Decider. Sets 1 card. So here we got our Lele. Put Mage Power on him. I think here, yep, we're playing fast and loose. We're going to actually use the Power of the Guardians this time. No time to be coy. Hit right into that Decider for 2,700. He could still swing over us if he wanted to, but he definitely doesn't want to. So he sets all his field out, gets his Celestial +2 Pot of Greed, uses Neos Fusion and Mass Change. He chains them. So his Dreamer's now an Anki. He gets a second Brave Neos out, and now he has Beatdown. He's trying to play around Wall of D. He's trying to play around Drowning Mirror Force. Gets his Anki up to 3,700 and direct attacks, guys. So it only does the half, does 1,850. Lucky for me, that's not a 2-shot. That's just off being 2-shot. He does not swing in to Indomitable Fighter Lele because it wouldn't do anything with Powers of the Guardians, and he would get killed by Gamusahara. But if we didn't have Power of the Guardians, he might have attacked into us. It might have been a little different duel, but we don't know. So we can't even make another move. He finally full-on thinks we were just waiting with a Drowning Mirror Force or something, so he switches him to defense too. So these are like the mind games I'm talking about. They don't know what I'm doing. Is it this simple? Is it this straightforward? He's completely avoiding everything. Direct attacks me again. I'm down to 300. Directs attacks me when he had no out, so I just flip him back up, swing right into him. He was doing all he could to get at me, and we just win, guys. So this deck is cool. It's almost like a U-Bowl deck in that some decks just won't have outs, and other decks it's just not a problem at all. So I mostly like it when you're being sneaky. I like it when people are falling for bait and they're swinging into it. It's just such a frustrating feeling for them on their end. So it's like my troll deck when I'm like tired of the nonsense and you want to go second. Just do all this cool stuff. But it's a more chill meme deck than what I'm usually bringing. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching as always.